Hi, I'm Carrie. Today's video I am wrapping up my tarot practice for the month of March. I'm showing you all the decks I've used, new things I've brought in, maybe ways I've used my deck, and anything else that I want to share with you. And I think I'm going to share what is coming up for my channel in the month of April too. So let me get this cleaned up and we'll get started. First, I want to apologize for the lighting. We are getting ready to have a huge storm come through here. It is 11 o'clock in the morning, and you would think that it was 6 or 7 o'clock at night. And yeah, it's dark out. So I can't do anything about the shadows that are going to be cast from the overhead lighting, but hopefully it's not too much of a distraction. I was sitting here thinking about what I was going to talk about for the month of March because it was a busy month, but then I was like, well, why was it busy? What did you do? And it was just a full month is really what it was. My son had come home for a week for spring break, but it was nice having him home for a week in the middle of March. It just so happened to fall on my husband, his dad's birthday, and so that was nice having him home to celebrate that and everything. But that's pretty much it, I think, as far as personal family stuff goes. So let's talk about the things that I brought in. I bought 0 decks in the month of March. You have no idea how proud I am of that fact that I didn't purchase a single deck in March, and my cupboard thanks me for that. It is like, girl, you have no more room in here. Stop trying to pack it full. So no, but I did get a deck in the month of March, but this was purchased last year in a Kickstarter. And this is actually the last Kickstarter that I backed, that I'm going to back. I've decided to step away from Kickstarters for right now. And I don't know if that's going to be a permanent decision or just temporarily, but I have decided to step away from that. But anyway, this is the Sassy Dragons Tarot by Peggy Papez. Supervised by Lisa Papez, illustrated by Andrew Rogers and Christopher Penzill. And this is the Not Safe for Work edition. And I love every single thing about this. I'm sure people have seen this. There's been walkthroughs on other channels about these two decks. There is the deck that is safe, that doesn't have the cuss words and that in it, and then there is this version, whoops, that is the Not Safe for Work. And of course I had to get this version because this is who I am. And as soon as I started looking through this deck and did a couple quick 2 and 3 card readings from it, I have labeled this into the category as my family deck. This is now taking the place of the other deck I was using to get insight in regarding family issues and family drama, because I think it's just the deck that is perfect for that. And my husband got a kick out of it. He liked the sayings in that was on the deck because I had him look through it, and I just knew that this would be the perfect deck to use. I'm also going to use it for kind of readings for myself when I need that kick in the pants, you know, stop wallowing, start figuring out what you're going to do from here kind of readings. I absolutely love this. This deck is exactly what it says, Sassy Dragons. I just love everything about it. I think it's so well done, and it's been very fun to use too. So this is the version I got. This is the only deck that I got in. I did go shop at a local crystal store and picked up a few little things from there. I got this little witchy cauldron. I think this is just absolutely adorable. It now sits out right here in my space, and it holds a couple Palo Santo sticks and just a little couple pieces of sage that I have, and I love it. I absolutely love it. I love having it sit out here. because what you see here, this is where I do my readings also. Every time I did a video, I used to clean everything up and pack it away, and I ain't doing that anymore. I don't have time for that. So how things are displayed here is the exact area that I read in and everything. So what you see is what you get kind of thing. And yeah, so another crystal that I picked up from the little store is, I think you pronounce it mookaite, Mookaite. And you want to know what? I can't remember why I picked this stone up now. Shame on me. I'm just like drawing a complete blank on the whole thing. But yes, I picked this up. I picked up this piece of tiger's eye because we will be going on vacation in a few months. And I thought this was the stone for safe travels. And then I got home and I'm thinking that it might be smoky quartz and not tiger's eye. If anybody is a crystal person, let me know in the comments below. But I'm going to have to do a little bit of research about that. But it doesn't matter. I love this. This is nice. It's a bigger chunk than the little pieces of tiger eye that I already have. So whether I use it and put it in the car or not, it doesn't matter. I'll have it for my own uses. And yeah, when we travel, I put crystals in the car. I put them in the little tray that's right next to where our drink holders are. I put crystals in the car. I smoke cleanse the car, especially when we're going to be traveling for as long as we are. We'll have a 11-hour drive, about 10-ish 11-hour drive ahead of us. So I put crystals in there. I smoke cleanse the car, and sometimes I draw a sigil. Sometimes I'll draw a sigil on the outside of the car with my finger, or I'll put it on paper and I will tuck it in the glove box. I know you're supposed to destroy them or whatever, but I do my own thing with sigils and I don't really care. So I'm just saying. And the other piece, or the other crystal that I got, is sunstone. And I talked about, oh God, I don't know if it was January. I don't remember what video it was of when I was wrapping up my practice of wanting to have a piece of sunstone to use with my moonstone. This is rainbow moonstone. And like holding them, masculine, feminine energy, that sort of thing, feeling the different vibrations. Both of these desperately need cleansed. I could just feel it in them. So yeah, I got that. This sunstone, I think it's been beat up though. This was the nicest piece that they had, but it just feels so rough on the surface of it and everything. So I don't know. Is sunstone supposed to feel that way? Not quite as smooth as other tumbled stones feel. It just feels like it's been beat up. I'll say that. So I think that is all. I think that's all the purchases that I made in the month of March. So yay me for being good and not spending on things I didn't actually need. Not that I needed those crystals or anything, but I like to support little local shops now and then. What else do I have to talk about? Oh, let's talk about what's coming up on my channel in the month of April, because I'm going to do a few different types of videos. I'm still going to have tarot content here. Nobody has to worry about anything like that. But I made myself a Persephone candle. And if you've been here for a while, you know I like to make these goddess candles. These are just for me because I do photocopy in black and white some oracle cards, and that's what I use on here. But I made a video this time taking you through the whole entire process of me creating this candle, and it's a very short video. It's only like 12 minutes maybe, but it shows you what this image looks like at the beginning and then what it looks like at the end. So I have that video coming out, and for the very first time I made myself some Florida water, and I am going to have to fill this up. It's like soaking up some of the alcohol in here, and it's a spaghetti sauce jar, which this is my favorite spaghetti sauce, by the way. Anyway, I made myself Florida water. This is the first time I have attempted this. This is not consumable. I need to stress that more than anything. This is not consumable. This is for spiritual cleansing only. That's what this is for. I have a little amber glass spray bottle that I will be transferring this to when the time comes. So I'm letting it sit for an entire month, and then I'll come back to it and evaluate and see if it needs to sit longer, or, you know, what's going on with it. But I do see that it's starting to soak up some of the alcohol, so I'm going to have to add some more in there. But all the ingredients, everything I use, and that will be in the video that is coming out, I think, the second week of April. I'm going to do a video about my springtime decks, and I'm going to do another 365 tarot spread series video, but I am doing it different. I am actively picking a spread because I want some different spreads. I want a bigger variety of spreads in there. So I think I know the one I'm going to choose, and then I'll do the reading just like I've done in the other videos. So that'll be coming out, and I'm going to do shelf 3 because I want to rearrange. The bookshelf has been up, what, 2 months since, I don't know, somewhere in the end of January, I don't know, and I want to rearrange it already, but I want to get shelf 3 done because I want to move my goddess decks down to that shelf. That's how it goes here. I mean, I will look at stuff and rearrange stuff like 6 different times before I feel that it fits, before it fits just right for me. So let's talk about decks and everything. In case you missed it, last week I did my Tarot Madness Tarot March Madness videos. I did a whole week of them. Let me tell you what, that was rough. Getting all those videos filmed and up and in the entire, for an entire week. I don't know how these people do like Vlogtober or Vlogmas and do videos every single day. I don't know how they do it. But anyway, this is the winner, the Good Fortune Tarot. And spoiler alert, I guess, in case you didn't see that finals video. And since I've done that video, because I did film that video a little bit before last week, I've been using this sporadically for some readings, and it's quite enjoyable. So if you haven't checked out any of the Tarot March Madness videos that Crescent Dream Tarot, she created that tag, go check those out because those were really fun to do. We are still in our deck study for the Earth Woman Tarot. I just want to say a big thank you to those that are really participating in that study and sharing their viewpoints and their perspectives and their meanings and things, because it has really enriched my practice with that deck and helped me see things in a different way on some of the cards. I appreciate all of you that came along with me and decided to do that study. And remember, like I said, we're down to our last 2 weeks, the Pentacle or the Swords first, and then the Pentacles, and then that's it. We are done. So I'm going to talk a little bit about my journal, not too much though, and then we're going to talk about the rest of the decks that I used. This journal is getting so fat, and because I've added so much extra into it, and we're only 3 months into the year, so I'm going to be screwed basically as we go along further. So for the month of March, I did things a little bit different. I did just quick little mini readings for my word of the year, my card of the year, and the universal energy of the year. My omens, still working with those. They're still accurate. But let's get here to my shadow and light reading. 2 more cards that had imagery that I felt had a really powerful message to them. This is in the light, this is in the shadow. And it's really interesting how opening and the imagery with the hands, palms up, wide open. And I talked about that whole victory image last month about being open and exposed. And this is kind of the same thing, except we're looking at the doorways now that are opening. But if you look here, her imagery, her coloring would fit right in the coloring of the center or the pathway to that door. And I really sat with that of how this coming back into self, reflecting on what I'm devoting myself to, reflecting on my commitments, loyalty, the sacred within, whether this is mindless action, and am I living in devotion to what my path is? And if I am, then how the doors will open up for me when I'm in alignment with what I really am looking to discover and that sort of thing. This has been really insightful and giving me that something to chew on, that not just the reading where you do it and you kind of walk away from it and that's the end. This is something that I continued to come back to throughout the month, look at, explore, think about, those kind of things. So again, two powerful cards, really resonated with things I was exploring and thinking about and going through in the month of March. So these really did play a big part of my practice. So one of the decks I decided to use for myself in the month of March is the Botanical Dreams Oracle by Lynn Arahu, artwork by Katrin Weltstein. This is a US Games, right? Is that correct? Yeah, US Games deck. Oh my gosh, do I love this oracle. I wasn't doing big complicated readings with it. I wasn't even pairing it with tarot. I was just pulling it out, picking one or two cards for the question that I asked, and then I was throwing charms over it and using that for guidance, pulling some of the Scrabble tiles. And yes, I know I have promised to make a video regarding the layered readings using the tarot and the Scrabble tiles and layering charms. I promise I did not forget. I will be doing that. It's on my list of videos to make, so I promise I am going to be doing that. But this deck is gorgeous. The only thing I don't like is I wish it had a keyword instead of a card title on the cards. So I do have to go to the guidebook to just see, what like hibiscus means. Yeah, there's just some of them that have, I think one says lavender. Yeah, you can bring in the energy of calmness or tranquility or peace or something along those lines with it. But I do refer to the guidebook when those kind of cards come up. But I wish they all had a keyword instead of just the title. But other than that, it was a joy to work with these, and I am keeping these out to use in the month of April because I'm not ready. I'm not ready to put this deck away. I'm not ready to stop using it, and it's a perfect springtime deck. So this is the one that I was using for myself in layered readings. Another deck that I used in the month of March is the Oracle of Awakening. I was using this for clients' month ahead readings. I like this deck. This is the first time I've used this deck. This is a newer deck to my collection. I got it, I think, at the end of last year is when this deck came in. I do like the keywords. I like the additional words or phrases at the bottom of the cards also. I like the collage style of the deck. So I did really enjoy pulling cards from this. I'm going to probably incorporate this into my own practice also in different ways too. But this was a nice oracle. It has plenty of different energies to it, so I feel like it is well balanced, and yeah, I really do enjoy this. I think this is the same person Llewellyn Simone. Is this the person that did the Cosmic Seed Tarot also? I don't have that tarot, so I don't know. Is that the name of it? I might be wrong. But yeah, I enjoyed this Oracle deck. One of my favorite pairings in the month of March was pairing up the Gateway Oracle cards by Denise Linn. This is one of her older decks. I have an entire video comparing Denise Linn decks together. It's one of my videos from, I think, year one that compares 6, I think, of her decks together. This is one of my favorites, and I like using it in the springtime. And the deck I paired it with is the Mystic Pallette Tarot by Ciro Marchetti, and the guidebook by Lee Burston. This deck is stunning. It is gorgeous, hands down. I wish it was smaller. That's the only thing. I cannot shuffle it at all. I almost bent one of the cards in half trying to shuffle it. I'm not a good side shuffler. It's my only thing. I just wish it was a little bit smaller for me, but it is absolutely stunning. I enjoyed working with it, and these two decks pair beautifully. This cardstock is super thin. That's just my feelings on it. And I don't know if because it's so big that it's that thin. I don't know. So I picked this up. This is the mass market version. I picked it up on or through Llewellyn's website. But these two decks really speak beautifully with one another. And I did really enjoy how they paired together. And the messages that they brought forward were just lovely. So I will definitely be pairing these two decks up again. Emerging into Grace, and we have the 9 of Swords. Following Your Bliss and the 2 of Wands. I think that's a perfect pairing. Being in flow. I am in flow with the universe, and we have the 4 of Swords here. So maybe you need to take a break in order to step into that flow. We have Rise Above and the Death card here. It's just absolutely beautiful. I mean, look, they're flying over the beach or ocean right there. And then you've got this Page of Cups underwater. It's just, it was such a great pairing. And this is an old deck. I mean, this is an old deck and this is a new deck. When did this one come out? Does it have a date on here? Yeah, Denise Linn's deck is from 2012. So it's 13 years old, different imagery and everything, but they just work wonderful. Renewing Your Life. Radiant vitality is filling my life. And then you've got the 7 of Cups. So maybe you've got some hard choices here that you have to make in order to let go of that clutter and to bring in that new and vibrant energy. Oh, I just loved it. Absolutely loved it. Yeah, if you're looking for a pairing and you have this old deck and you're wondering what to pair with that, I think this is a chef's kiss. Absolutely love these two together. So I think that is everything. I think that is all the decks that I used. I think that's all the things that I did, played around with, created. I think that's everything that I've done in the month of March. I would love to hear what you used for your practice in the month of March. Did you bring any new decks in or pick up any new crystals? And I'd love to hear about your practice in that in the comments below. Thanks so much for hanging out with me today. I really appreciate you being here. Don't forget to subscribe if you want to see some of those other style videos that I have coming up during the month of April. And until I see you next time, bye.